Welcome to the Bears on Tap Offensive Line Film Room, bringing you all 22 views and breakdowns on the Chicago Bears offensive line. Presented by Quentin Q. Crisco and the one and only Ron Luce.
And we are back. We are Bears on Tap. We are here to do our offensive line review for the Chicago Bears. And oh, boo-hoo, no one wants to talk about the Bears O-line because they stink and because it's not fun. Well, you know what? We got a surprise for you at the end. We got a little free agency preview at the end of this show. So stick around for that. We'll probably cut it up into YouTube and make it into a shorter video just for that. Just because we have to give you guys something a little more fun than just Bears O-line. But with that being said, Ron, do you have anything you want to throw out there before we get started?
Q, I'm hoping you were correct. I told you I like coming into these blind, and so I have not watched the film yet. And you've watched enough to give me an honest answer. And you said it's not as bad as we think it is. So I'm hoping that continues to be the case over the course of the next hour or so.
And I mean, to be clear, it's not good, but like,
but it's not horrendous.
I came away from this game saying Braxton and Coleman Shelton struggled. The other three were fine. Like, Darnell Wright had a really good day in pass pro. I thought he had a crap day as a run blocker. And then Matt Pryor had some low lows and some high highs, like as you expect.
Yep.
Like nothing was a surprise, I guess. I'd put it that way.
I respect that.
But starting off here, we're looking at an inside zone play, and they tried to establish the run early. Let's see what goes on here with it.
Boy.
So 91's the free man. He's surfing.
Yep.
Darnell Wright could not corral Fred Warner. No one could corral Fred Warner in this game. He had a hell of a game, but the free runner just gets in from behind, and you got, I don't know who 29 is, but he just flying downhill on it at the same time.
Yeah, you can tell here that the Niners were fully expecting this to be a run play. Either it was a key in their defensive scheme or just they were just gambling and said, hey, the Bears are probably going to try to run the football on first down, because that certainly is a tendency early in games for the Bears. They do try to run the football quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And then when they don't have success is when you see Caleb kind of take over the game and need to pass more. I mean, Tev getting blown up is not great. I mean, it still works out in this sense, just because you still create a wall.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think they're just outnumbered here. And Warner's a freak. I fully expect Warner to beat almost every tackle in the league if you can't get your hands on him.
It's a hell of a play from 9-1, I think. And if Darnell blocks up Warner, this could go for something, but like Warner not getting blocked wasn't the reason it got stopped. 9-1 making a hell of a play is why it got stopped. And he just read it fast and got aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. And 29 being involved too certainly helps. But I agree. I mean, you can make, I think in this case, the one major criticism I have of this play is I would like to see Darnell be more aggressive getting to the second level. You have to be with guys like Fred Warner. Like you have to be the aggressor. If you're passive, they're going to beat you. And that's exactly what happened. But I agree with you. I mean, 91 is the guy that makes this play.
On my first watch right here, Darnell, I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, but that was my first response watching it was just like, get out there, man. Like, I know Fred Warner's fast and he can do some stuff, but it was just like, it felt like Wright was a bit of a deer in the headlights on this first play, and just you can't do that against Fred.
Yeah, Warner. And I don't know maybe though if there's an RP or not even an RPO, if there's a read option involved in this.
Oh, so you think he's reading Warner?
I think Wright's trying to read Warner because if Caleb keeps the football, he's got to fly out.
He needs to cut off back. I gotcha.
That's my guess. I don't know if I'm correct, but that's just my guess.
Okay.
Because if you watch Coleman Shelton, he's just aggressive and just gets to the second level, whereas like Wright slow plays it a little bit more. I wonder if that's the reason, because he is the read option side guy.
That would make a lot more sense. And like, because as I was sitting there saying, like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, it's not even exactly on the player when I'm saying that. Sometimes it's like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell, like, what are you thinking? Like, why are you playing it like this? Because this is not your natural play state.
Yeah. I mean,
that's passive.
They open up a nice hole. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not the worst play I've ever seen. It looks like it goes for about 4 yards, which I take on every single day, and including Sundays.
And then we had what I think is an outside zone look. The only thing that threw me was how well, I guess, Pryor just gets the cutoff. But I think that's just a well done block.
And I wonder, I bet you there was communication there. Because that, remember what we talked about on, I think it was the last show, the pin and pull technique?
Yeah.
That's the pin and pull technique, just at a level where they just cut behind guys or go up and get the angle instead of going around. Because I mean, it is exactly how I would expect.
Which a few guys did, like Tev did it, Pryor did it, and then I think it's Mercedes Lewis who got it too. But
I mean, that's
that stands out to me here is who's got 7?
My guess is it's Komet, and he's trying to take him with him, is my guess. Actually, I don't know, Q. That's a great question.
Because this is blocked up beautifully if someone has 7.
I'm if I'm a betting man, that's Komet's guy.
Yeah. That's
just
where I
what
was
the
leaning
logical
to.
thought is, but
just what is it? Occam's razor, like the most logical explanation is usually the right one. Like that's
my guess here is just Komet just gets his responsibility wires crossed a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the rest of this play,
they've got blocked up nicely. And like an kind of a trend with some of the run game in this one, kind of similar to what we saw early in the year. Like the Bears O-line, they weren't doing incredible in the run blocking in my mind, but like they did well enough to run the ball a lot better than they did. I think the receivers and tight ends had a lot of wires crossed in this one.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of that is some scheme changing and things like that. Like we really haven't seen the Bears try to pin and pull at all before Thomas Brown took over now as head coach. So I wonder if that's kind of a Thomas Brown wrinkle, maybe a little bit that we're starting to see.
I think we'll probably identify a few before the end of this show. I recognize some things, but this one, I just highlighted this. Pryor gets yanked down, and we'll see what else we catch in it within it. Like my notes are usually just the first thing that I notice, but it doesn't mean it's the only thing I notice. We see 99 get a nice rip technique on him, just hand in the shoulder pads, get out of here.
That's holding.
It is, but
I'm just saying.
One call.
That's defensive holding if I've ever seen it. But
and I know I've asked you about this before, but I just want to get your opinion again on it, just to get it more cemented in my mind.
Sure.
What do you think of Tev's rep here?
Oh, I don't like it.
Yeah, neither did I. Gave him a 4 on this one.
He's clearly the lock guy based on where Shelton's sliding. So he needs to know he's one-on-one, and he gives the inside. He gives the inside. I would rather, maybe this is the Ron Luce school of offensive line theory. I would rather Tev's overset him inside and give him the outside than the other way around. And that's what happens here is Tev just gets beat to the inside.
Which I've noticed this year, like Tev's feet were always a work in progress in pass pro. But this year, I feel like they've been more of an issue than they ever had been, where I'm not sure if that's just, he was able to muster a little more power, a little more pop in the pass to get past it with his punch, get a little more pop and make guys just kind of shove guys out of the way. But this year, it just feels like he's not, those feet are, I don't want to say they're slower than last year to react because they're probably about the same, but his effectiveness seems to be less.
I think part of it maybe this year is just he stops moving his feet a lot more.
Yeah.
Because you could see it here. I mean, he doesn't even take, can you rewind all the way back to the start of the clip?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to confirm I speak correctly before I talk out of my ass. I mean, he doesn't even move that inside foot.
The inside one or the outside?
The inside one.
So we're watching that inside foot on Teven Jenkins.
Yeah, he brings the outside foot, but it almost looks like he just barely moves that inside foot. He picks it up and puts it down, but not much.
Yeah.
And then he's going backwards. Like he stops moving his feet when he punches. And I think in this instance, when that guy is clearly head up on you, even a slight inside shade, I think he still needs to come more.
Yeah.
And then he starts leaping and doing all the fucking nonsense. He never brings that inside foot strong. He brings it very weak.
Yeah.
And for those at home that don't understand what I'm talking about, when you're taught to slide, you really need to boom that inside foot. You need to bring power on that inside foot if you're sliding in, especially in this instance, what we're talking about here with Tev. That sense of urgency is not there with that inside foot. He drops that inside foot you see right there. So that's already starting to swing the gate. Remember what we talked about with hips? Starting to swing the gate. And then on top of it, he stops moving the back foot. He drags it. He brings it with him, and then he's galloping. He's leaping. He's like Zaboombafoo and the Crap Brothers leaping and booping around. You know what I mean? That's what he starts to do here. And that's why I think he's able to give the out inside so much. If he comes another half a step stronger, I bet you he has more punch with that inside instead of getting his hand swiped, and then is able to turn around and have a better pass rep. I know we're saying, well, Pryor gets yanked here. I mean, Pryor does a good job.
No, that wasn't so much because it was I thought it was the worst moment of the rep, as I just thought it was like the most high. It's the thing that's going to draw the most attention on the rep.
Definitely. Yeah. And I mean, Coleman Shelton does a good job coming to his aid and picking up that guy when Pryor gets yanked. So no issues there. I mean, Tev's guy doesn't get to Caleb.
Yeah.
So, I would
from the school of do your job. He did his job.
It's just, it could be much better than he did it.
Yeah.
Outside of
that's kind of how I felt with Brax too. Like Brax did his job, but he's right up on Caleb in 2.5 seconds. Like I want a little better than that.
Yeah. If this play is another half a second longer, Brax is
done.
Caleb's able to smell what Brax ate for breakfast, more or less. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, what were you going to say about it before I said that?
No, I agreed with what you said with Brax.
Okay.
Like it's fine. It gets the job done, but it's definitely like an instance of like, if it's another second longer, he's in Caleb's lap.
This one was beautiful. I had no notes. No notes.
Stop it. Don't tease me like that, Q. Oh. Yeah,
that's as good as it gets.
That's as good as it gets at the NFL level, man. I agree. That is no notes. Maybe the only thing I would say here is just like, if you're Pryor, like try not to let your guy go around the other guy. But at that point, it doesn't matter. It's so far along in the play. Yeah, this is no notes. Holy Coleman Shelton looking like a stud. Fuck dude. This is awesome.
He needs this one. We need to remember this one when we see the bad ones. So.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair. I mean, this is good. I love that inside hand from Tev to give to help Shelton.
Yeah.
And then Tev looking to tee off on Floyd, because that's the type of dude you want to tee off. Oh, yeah, launch his ass. Yeah, no notes. I agree. This is beautiful.
And then we see the right side of the Bears O line kind of blow. Or, I mean, they blow a stunt here. It seems like they might have changed up some of their stunt rules in this game.
I don't know that.
Where they tried to just ride their man, which was odd. Like, so you see Matt Pryor tries to go around the back of Darnell, and they both just end up confused, and no one blocks him really.
Darnell's getting held. That's why.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that was a trend then, because I felt like I saw this a few times.
You see Darnell reaching there, and you can't see his left arm. It's because the DN's got his left arm hooked.
That makes more sense. I was thinking that he was trying to play both, but like you're right, he's off balance. He's in a weird position. Yeah,
that's defensive holding. I see 2 officials. You got yellow hankies for a reason.
I'll tell you, and I'll point a few moments out in this tape here. The 49ers were the far more physical and aggressive football.
Oh yeah, you can see it already.
Before the whistle, after the whistle, and in between the whistles, they were far and away more aggressive and physical.
You can see it. I mean, I don't hate how they block this. I mean, if Darnell doesn't get held there, he probably gets to Floyd.
Yeah.
Because 94 is bringing him with him. I think the only reason Pryor peels out is because he realizes that Darnell's getting held.
Man,
he just tries to go play superhero.
I am so impressed with Matt Pryor. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to say he's a Pro Bowl or anything. He's going to be starting for someone next year.
I agree. I think he's he's proven that he's a true swing player where like he can play inside and outside, and that's really hard to find in this league. The guys that are actually like competent at both. I think he's competent at both. I would make the argument he's a better guard just because of how long and how physical he is.
So.
He doesn't need to be elite with his feet. As long as he can beat you with the punch, he's a guard that can really create some problems for people. I agree with you, Q. I would not be surprised if a team's watching his film this year and they go, we've got maybe one hole on the offensive line and we don't want to spend a ton of money. Why don't we just go get Matt Pryor for a couple bucks and let him play next to maybe a really good center and a really good right tackle? I could see that happening.
Especially if you're a team who's going to run a lot of shotgun in a drop back heavy offense. I think he's ideal. Like,
I agree.
You're not asking him to do a lot in the run game outside of inside zone and duo. Like, that's his bread and butter right there.
Yeah, I agree. A team I immediately think of that I think he would be really good at and good with. God, as much as I hate to say it, might be the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh boy. I hope not.
I hope not too, because he would torture the Bears. Yeah. But I mean, this is honestly not a bad play. Like, Wright just gets help.
Yeah. No, I mean, at this point, at once realizing that, I mean, that's probably a plus for Pryor, if anything. Like, just I'm not going to give him a plus. I'll probably give him a fine, but like, that feels like, it's good awareness. And he tried to do something in a moment where he has to make a split decision. And he made the right decision,
because here's the thing: if Wright doesn't get held, Pryor's in the right position to eat number 94, and then Wright's able to get out to Floyd. It just doesn't happen because Wright's getting dragged up the field, and then, like you said, Pryor just tries to make a split-second decision to try and get the man and hope Caleb can make a play, and it just doesn't work out in their favor.
Like he's trying to pass him off, and Wright's looking past him, like they're trying.
Yeah, I mean, he passes off 99 really well Pryor, and then he's there for 94, and then there's the hold. Like, Darnell Wright doesn't walk backwards if he's not being dragged by his arm.
Yeah. But on the other side, I did think Brax had a solid rep here. I mean, Tev helped him a lot in this game, but there were a handful of moments where it was like, okay, Brax, you didn't even need the help there. Like, you anchored down, and this was one of them against a power rusher who gets a nice form. Like, that is what I want to see from Brax.
Yeah, this is the first time I feel like we've really seen Brax get low and not let a guy come into his chest.
And, like, look at the result. He stifles him.
Yeah. And then he sits in that anchor.
Help, but, like, I don't think he even needed the help there.
I don't think he did either. And
Tev enjoys teeing off on the guy, I can tell you that.
Sure. Oh, if I was Teven Jenkins, I would tee off on the guy too. Especially with how small these DNs are nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tee off on him, man. I would tee off on him all game. It'd be rib shots all day. Just to remind you, you're gonna pass rush, it's gonna hurt.
And this is the infamous mesh route.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Spacing matters. Literally all four fucking receivers are in the same spot.
You have Komet right behind.
Oh my God, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
People ran the wrong route. Like, there was a miscommunication.
Somebody
no way this was the play call, because, like,
if I'm a betting man, it's Rome running the wrong route. But
like, the ball is supposed to be out now at 2.86. The ball is supposed to be out.
Yeah.
You have option 1,
DJ.
Option 2, option 3, or option 4. They're all in the same, like, 5-yard vicinity. It's just,
oh my God, so bad.
Yeah. Like, so this sack, I even have a hard time putting it on the O-line because
nobody's open.
Where is he supposed to? I mean, you could go 20. You could go Travis Homer, I guess, but, like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
and by that point, Caleb's in survival mode because he sees 94 coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we have another outside zone stretch play here, which is weird.
Where are you going, Coleman?
It's weird, right? And this is where I said I'm curious to get your thoughts on some of these run concepts, because it felt like they were going the wrong way sometimes.
Oh, is that how they're blocking it? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Now, I will say this. Oh, God, I know it's an offensive line show, and I've been a big defender of this guy for a large majority of the season. This is where DeAndre Swift struggles in the run game.
The reads.
The reads. Because if you watch this, I think they stop it right there. They block beautifully. Now, at this point, Swift needs to, I know he's trying to get to the outside. And I understand that's the concept of outside zone. But if the outside's not there because you see a corner or you see whoever, like, this is where you need to start thinking, like, ooh, can I come off of Cole Kmet's ass here?
Where's Kmet?
Because
You say, is this Kmet right here?
Yes, that is Cole Kmet.
So you're saying to try to spin it right in here?
Try to spin it right in there because you've got the wall with Brax on the linebacker. You've got Coleman Shelton on a safety on the backside.
Or I mean, I know this one gets riskier. Like, and this is not, you don't really read it. It's just a feel. But if you could plant and cut right back in here, this guy's momentum's all taking him to the right. Like, and so you have that, like, that was a bad image, but like plant and then right back through here. Like you have big on big, big on little, big on little, big on big. Like, I like,
just so you know,
numbers.
you weren't drawing on the screen there. Just like
big on big.
There you go.
Big on little, big on little, big on big. Like, I like those numbers. That's a near impossible read wearing a helmet though, so I can't actually knock him for that. But like, some running backs feel that. Some
guys do, and that's just like Swift right there. Cut. It's got to be faster than that. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like, and I like what he's trying to do here. He's trying to get that corner outside so he can kind of come back, but he tries to cut back almost too much. Yeah, I don't hate the dog. The blocking's good. It's just like, this is where, if you're going to run a lot of outside zone and even inside zone, if you're going to run zone at all, you need a running back with vision.
So, and here's something interesting. It was like you said, coming out of the snap, it was like, where are you going? With Shelton walking up to here.
Agreed. I thought the same thing. I'm like, where are you going, Coleman? Yeah.
Like, they were both going backside and the play's going this way. And, I'm not drawing on the thing again. And I can't help but wonder, because there have been a lot of times this year where I've been sitting here watching the run tape going, man, you're asking Coleman Shelton to run with 53 out to here and actually get a piece of him. You're asking Brax to run out here with 54 and actually get a piece of them. They're getting a little bit, but like, I don't know if it's impacting the play. I wonder how much of this concept with the blocking is the player's input of like, let us go block someone for real, because we are just chasing guys and getting gassed and not actually making an impact.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like, I mean, the beauty of outside zone is it's zone. Like, you have a zone. Yeah. So there's just got to be communication before the play. Hey, I'm up. Okay, you I'm in, I'm here. And then that's just go. Like, that's what it's got to be. I mean, this is blocked really well.
Yeah.
I think that's what drives me nuts. I mean, Warner certainly makes enough of a play here to take away some of that space that Swift is trying to create. And obviously Lewis's guy gets off too. But like, the way it's blocked, I don't hate the way it's blocked. But again, and then that's where I will say there is onus on the running back in zone. It's not just the offensive line, because it's the running back's eyes and it's the running back's movements that help dictate the zone play. And that's why I said, like, you and I were talking off camera, I would not be shocked if the Bears draft a running back in this year's draft. Yeah. Or even potentially sign one in free agency. I know that's a lot of money to tie up at the running back position, but it's for 1 year, and DeAndre Swift is cuttable effectively after the next season.
Yeah.
If you really feel that way, they need a guy with better feel.
Seems like a strong running back draft too. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's a deep draft. I think they can get a guy that can contribute right away in either the third round if they want to reach and get one of the top dogs, or even in the fifth round for a guy who's, maybe a little bit of a one-trick pony, but you got to find a guy that can read zone, because that's the type of play where, even if it's not going for a touchdown, not every play has to go for a touchdown, but if there's a few of those holes that the running back can feel and kind of sift out and maybe have a little more patience. I don't think Swift is very good at patient running. Mm-hmm. You would be able to see some of those cutbacks open up. And then maybe it's a 7-yard play, but that's better than a 3-yard play of you just putting your head down and trying to run through somebody.
Yeah. On this next one, Brax gets beat, but really, I mean, I'm just highlighting a hell of a play from Leonard Floyd at the end of the day. This is what John Fox saw in Leonard Floyd. Full speed, runs the full arc. Like he is Gumby right here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when John Fox said this is Jason Taylor, this is what he meant.
Yeah.
That's just gorgeous. Like, I mean, sure you'd like to see Brax do that a little better. You'd like to see that ball come out because it's 3.5 seconds. But like Floyd's ability to run that full speed is impressive.
And everything else about this pass blocking wise is really good. I just don't love Pryor turning his shoulders, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, that's living with Matt Pryor, right?
Yeah, and I get it. I mean, it's at the point where nobody else is coming because everybody bails. But it's just like, if you keep your head up and you see like Darnell Wright needs help, like you could always go and help Darnell. But I kind of like him staying in now that the play runs because you give some help to Shelton as well too. So I'm wish
that's part of their strategy there. Like, you end up free, your first help is Shelton. Like that's probably an automatic. And let's see what Braxton does at the top of the arc. I mean, if he chops down that arm, maybe he can do something. But I feel like at this point, it's just Floyd being a long athlete in my mind.
Yeah. That's the thing with Leonard Floyd. Like, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but like you said, he's just long. And
like that from here to here just blows my mind.
Yeah.
That is wild athleticism, wild ankle flexion. Like
why he was a top 12 pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah. Like I'd say 75% of edge rushers, you run them that high over the pocket, they're not getting the sack. It's just that's just and it's not, and I'm not sitting here trying to make excuses of being like Leonard Floyd is so good, but like that is just a hell of a that is a hell of an arc right there.
I think Leonard Floyd's a better football player than people give him credit for, but that's just my personal thoughts on the matter.
I don't think PFF grades give him enough credit. Like we talked about this going into that game. All right, so remember when I said we need to remember Shelton's rep a little later?
Oh boy,
it's because of this one.
It's time to get pumped.
He had another pretty rough one, but this is the one that was really like
atrocious.
Oof.
Oh boy, I can already see it coming. Oh yeah, that's bad. Oh no. Oh buddy.
It almost looks like Tev is trying to like keep him from falling.
Seriously, Tev's like, shit, I'm coming, dude. I'm coming, man.
Oh,
that's just bad. That's just bad.
And that's like we talked last week about how I think, you might not be able to find much better than Coleman Shelton, but he needs to limit these. Like when he's limiting these moments to a few times a season, you can live with it. When it's every
few times a game, it's
like your quarterback can't be taking these hits.
Not from a big nose tackle like that. Absolutely. I mean, this is almost a situation where if I'm Travis Homer, I'm like, or if I'm the coach, I'm like, Travis, Brax is going to be fine. Just make sure Coleman doesn't get absolutely annihilated up the middle.
And grease.
Not that Travis Homer is going to be able to do much, but he can cut him.
Yeah. And grease up deaf guy almost gets out of it.
Yeah, greased up deaf guy's crazy. That's the craziest part is like the amount of sacks Caleb Williams has run himself out of, and he still has the most. He's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? He would be sacked 70 times if it wasn't for him being the greased deaf guy.
From this moment to this just feels impossible.
It's just so stupid. Like
why is his helmet in Vaseline or something? Like,
just don't know why he's able to do that, man.
Yeah.
Good for him. I mean, it makes him a pain in the ass to sack, but
Teven Braxton. So we're looking at the left side, left tackle, left guard. They get walked back some on this. I don't think it's atrocious, but like it's definitely not ideal.
But it's not great, Bob.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I was harder on Tev than Brax on this one, if I'm being honest, because right here, like Caleb can't step in. He can't step into his hitch right here because of Tev.
Yeah, and I would almost, I think the worst part about it is like early in the rep, Tev looks like he's perfect. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And this goes back to shameless plug. the preview that we just recorded for the Minnesota game coming up this week. Like we said, players we think have the most to lose or gain from the next 4 weeks. This is why I said Tev. Like from right there with that punch, he looks like he's in a good spot. I like where he's at. And then, like you said, he just gets walked back. And I don't know if some of that's just his back and the injuries he's had to the back.
Yeah, I think his flexion, his bend is really much more limited than it used to be. He's a lot stiffer of a football player than he once was.
And I think that's why he gets walked back so much with guys with power. Because the hands are in a good spot. And I mean, even here, like it looks like he gets it back and then he's just not able to anchor. At least Brax is able to semi-anchor.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Brax isn't impeding Caleb until like 2.8 seconds.
Yeah, and even then, I would make the argument he's really not impeding Caleb yet either. But
yeah,
fair.
And it's really, I mean, by then it's like the ball should be gone right now.
Because you can see him staring down Rome. Yeah. That's where he wants.
And I mean, you can see the 49ers defender looming there too, so that probably had something to do with it. But like, to me, that's why I say I was harder on Tev, because as soon as he turns his second read, Tev's on top of him. Like, he can't finish that hitch, his footwork in it, and it's just okay. Well, I gotta check down.
Yeah, and even in that situation, if Tev's able to anchor a little bit more, you wonder. And again, I'm not saying like it's bound to happen, but you wonder if he can get back to Cole Kmet at the middle of the field.
Yeah, well, I mean, I bet that's what he was trying to wait out.
Yeah, because you watch Kmet clear that window. He's clearing that window, and you can almost tell, like right here, Caleb's seeing that coming, and he's trying to stare down Rome so the backer bites just a little bit, and then
get the backer back inside so he can.
Yeah, because you see
middle field.
Yeah, I bet you that's where he wanted the ball to go. I mean, it's a good job getting the ball out and just checking it down.
Yeah,
it's a positive gain. I mean, that's good. You'll take that, but.
So there's a missed looper on this one. I want to say it was coming around the right side, but or coming from the left. It's Leonard Floyd again.
This is a tough stunt.
Again, this is one where I'm not that hard on them for. Like I probably gave someone a poor on this one, but like a poor is not bad. You can recover from a poor pretty easily. Bads are hard to recover from.
Yeah.
So we got Leonard. I think I just did it on the wrong screen again. We got Leonard Floyd and just looping around back inside, just outside Coleman Shelton on this one. And you see that, Braxton takes the pass off. Tev is not in a good position to take the pass off, but he gets there.
I mean, this is where you want Matt Pryor to come a little bit more. I respect trying to keep your eyes upfield and in case 59 comes, but you have the back releasing. Like as soon as you see 59 start to retreat, you got to turn quicker and just come firing back.
Well, and I mean, as soon as he does, his head starts to turn right here.
Yeah, I mean, he reads it properly. I just don't think he gets back fast
and
enough.
Just, I mean, his body reaction was just not, and that's living with Matt Pryor,
right?
He's got slow limbs.
Yeah, and he's not going to get there fast enough. I think the way I would coach this up if I was talking to Pryor, I would say, hey, Matt, even if you are looking for 59, just get a little bit more depth and especially if you feel the pocket the way it's going, like just start sliding into the slide. Because if we're being honest, he's not locked. Or actually, he might be locked because I believe that guy is outside of him. If I remember correctly, when the play starts. Yeah, this guy's outside of Pryor. So in that theory, he should be locked, which would then mean that he should be coming anyway.
So what you're saying is because he is outside of Pryor's right foot here, and there's no one inside until the other side of Jenkins outside his foot, he should be locked right on there. We'll draw a nice little.
I can't see your drawings.
Oh, I gotta stop that.
So
here's a nice little lock right there because there's no one in the gap, and then is that Tev locked as well?
No. So the way that this is being called is with Homer on the right side, the lock side is the right side. So the theory behind it is we have Homer. It's a 6-on-6 situation. So if Homer is responsible in pass pro, which I'm sure he is, get the guy if he comes, and if he doesn't come, you release. He's got 59.
Okay.
Is where Travis Homer is dialed up to. So because of that, the right side of the line is what we call locked. Now, again, I'm sure there's different terminologies based on where you've played and things like that, but this is what we called it when I was playing. The locked side, you have whoever is over you, inside of you, or outside of you. That's how the protection's called. So like we used to call protections L and R. Everything's left and right. It's that simple. So our protections were like, in this case, if we had a back, we had a different call if the back was in pass pro versus the back was not in pass pro, because that will change your rules. In this case, my belief is that Homer's in pass pro.
Yeah, so then
that's my belief.
Homer's on him if he comes, and then we're talking like, boom.
Can't see your drawings.
There you go. Today is a special day for that, you know?
It happens. Well, so this is the argument I would make. It's not even so much on a guy per se, as much as it is just you're sliding to a spot. Yeah. So Coleman Shelton would start the slide, quote unquote. So because you can see he comes left immediately.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he comes left immediately.
Let's see.
Let's run it and see if he confirms my belief. Oh no! See, he's
ready. He's ready for this stun. It seems like
I will say. So that's the other thing here. I wonder if there was proper communication, because as soon as I see 2 3s, if I'm a center, I'm screaming game.
Right.
Game. It's a stunt. Stunts are almost always run out of abnormal fronts. That's just kind of the rule of thumb. It's always like 2 2s, or like a 1 who is traditionally always a 1 is a little more outside than he normally is. Or in this case, you have 2 3 techniques. They're all outside.
Yeah.
That absolutely means that there's shit coming. So I like what Coleman Shelton does here. He gets depth and sifts it out. What's happening? Oh, this guy's coming across my face. I'm going to take him now. Pryor should be coming with him.
Yeah. And he gets hung up on the lurker there.
He gets hung up on the lurker, which I get. But like, that's why Travis Homer's there.
Yeah.
Pryor should be coming down.
If Pryor, that guy comes, and that's why Homer's there. That's it. Like Caleb needs to see it, and boom, it's out.
Right. And if Pryor comes on that, Leonard Floyd's running right into Pryor. They pick this up, and I bet you Caleb's able to make a better throw. That's how I read it. Again, I'm not in the meetings. Right. None of us are in the meetings and know what the theory is. Based on what I'm seeing, that's my belief.
Here's the first example of more physical before, during, and after the whistle.
Did you see the mic'd up on this, by the way?
No, I did not.
Like Warner was mic'd up and they showed it, and Warner hits him and he goes, "Oh, my bad. And Caleb's like, "I thought you were coming to kill me." It's really funny. But he was like, "My bad." Like he helps him up, and I think he just
there.
But again, like you said, this San Francisco defense gets their wires crossed. They play hard and they play tough, and that was the difference. The Bears got absolutely manhandled by these guys, and you see it on film.
All right, so this one we had G lead, and I thought, I'm not sure if he's cutting it back. So they started getting into some pistol run game, which we haven't seen a lot of.
Love that. Big fan of pistol run game.
And it was harder for me to kind of decipher what some of these runs were. We had Teven leading on this. I thought it was G lead.
Nope, and that's how I'd run it. Yep,
Swift just cuts it back a little
beautiful.
bit, or bends it back. I don't even want to say cut. He just bends it inside.
Yeah, I mean, on most scenarios like this, like even with the G, like usually if you're pulling a guy, that's what you want to open up.
Right.
It's right up the hat.
And that's what threw me off with this. How inside, when I was like, I bet he just bent that inside. Like he just saw the lane and went, "Yep."
Yeah, he just saw the space. I mean, in theory, what would happen here if this was perfectly designed, which never happens? Coleman's back. Jones is doing what we call kind of build the wall. You come back and you get hip to hip with your center as much as you can to kind of wall off the backside. And then it's Polar's got last man on the line of scrimmage.
Brax literally goes backwards until he feels someone.
Yes, exactly. And that's when he knows, forward. Okay, there's a guy coming. And honestly, I mean, they that's blocked beautifully. Like I'm not mad about that play at all. That's perfection. That's exactly how you draw up a guard pull. Because that's
This
kind of
is-
run like a trap in a lot of ways.
This has to be an unscouted look. I don't think I've seen this play all year. From this
I don't
formation.
I don't remember seeing them run much of pistol at all, let alone run out of pistol.
Or even G lead, I feel like has not been something they've run much of. So like,
yeah, they don't pull their
feels like
guards
this
a lot.
was a Thomas Brown like
Wrinkle.
different. Yeah,
Mhm. I like it. You
It
see what
works.
happens if you scheme it up beautifully. Like it works well because they have the offensive linemen, especially on the right side. But I would make the argument Braxton and Tev can do this too. They have the guys to work a double team up to a linebacker.
yeah,
They absolutely do. So why not run more of this? I know your guards aren't the most like athletic guys, but all they need to do, especially on these quick hitters, that's the key cue. They need to be quick hitters with these guards. Tev's a motherfucker. Pryor's a motherfucker. Just let them be quick. Boom, get down there and just get a body into them. And then this is what you draw up. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
I just want to point out, Kyle Shanahan teams make a point to target the guys who don't like contact and make sure that they know you're there. Consistently.
Yeah, just give him a heads up.
Just letting him know he's there. He's there. And he's you know where he is. You know he's there ready to pop you. So this 100%. One inside zone. I thought inside zone at least.
Zoink Scoobs. I don't know what play this is.
It looks like inside zone to me because the double on the left side or on the left guard center and the way Darnell's coming out. I think Pryor just misses his not even because Pryor kind of does his job here, despite doing it really awkwardly. Like he clears out the lane, but like I mean, I don't know why. I mean, number 2 is just all over it. Number 2 is all over this play.
Yeah, Lenore
like
all
Rome
over
didn't
it.
even have a chance to get to him.
No, he doesn't. It's just a bad angle. I don't know what this. I don't understand this blocking. To me, you know what this kind of looks like, Q? It looks like back like a misdirection play. Because you got your line going left and then you kind of lead it right type thing. I just don't love it. I don't love the scheme of it. It's a hard block for Rome. I mean, that's the basics of it. If you, I don't even know like how you would fix this per se. I don't think there's a way to fix it. I would say if anything, you know how you fix this, Q? I got an answer. Have a fullback. That's how you fix this. Because the fullback comes through the hole and takes Lenore.
Yeah.
And then Cole's able to wall off 51. There's your hole. Because you have Darnell going to the next level, and then Swift could potentially cut that back off of Pryor's ass. I'm telling you right now, Q, the biggest mistake the Bears made this season was cutting Kari Blasingame. Not having a true fullback, because how often have we seen them run like Gerald Everett out there as a fullback?
Yeah.
It's often. I think fullbacks still have a place in football, truly. I really do, especially in today's game, because like most of them are just slower running backs, really. Like Kyle Juszczyk's a perfect example of what you can get. Like they're tight ends. They're tight ends, but they have that kind of that FU mentality as a fullback. If you had a fullback leading up through the hole there, the cutback is right off of Pryor's ass.
Yeah.
For another 10, 15 yards.
And
but because you're asking your receiver to make a horrendously difficult block.
Yeah. No, you absolutely are. And like, I mean, fullback's only as good as the coach is going to use them, but like, I just don't think the Bears had it in their playbook. Like, maybe
I would make the argument that Thomas Brown, given that he's come from the McVay, especially the Shanahan tree, like the Shanahan tree uses fullbacks, and the Bears have used fullbacks this year, but they didn't have a real fullback.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And then we have a second instance of Darnell Wright, just not, Fred Warner might be greased up deaf guy while we're at it.
He is that dude is.
This dude cannot be blocked. He just cannot. Like, I mean, not a great effort from Wright, but like still, that's impressive.
Q, I would make an argument if you have a fullback, because this play's not meant to be bounced outside.
No.
If you make the argument, that's a great block from Darnell.
You're right. Wright does his job if that stays inside.
Because he's leading with that right shoulder. Because the idea is if the play's coming off my backside, I want to hit with the shoulder that's farthest away from the play.
Yeah. Interesting.
Get a full back. That's my take.
We've got Scott in the comments saying, fire the entire O-line. Scott, if you just turned it on, I would suggest going like
there's some good stuff.
Whenever you have time, going back and watching earlier, because
there was some
not to say we're making excuses for him, but like I think there's some really good breakdown in there for you to check out.
I won't lie with Scott though. I would say outside of maybe Darnell Wright, everybody on this offensive line is replaceable. But that being said, I agree. They haven't been that horrendous.
I mean,
necessarily that great, but
I think you're talking. Ideally, you have 3 new starters on the interior. I just don't know if ideal is a world we can live in with the center position. I just don't know where the answers are.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even be mad if they decided to. Maybe you trade Braxton for another 4th rounder or 5th rounder, but then maybe you find a center later in the draft who maybe doesn't need to start year 1, but sits behind Coleman Shelton.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The answer is,
and then maybe you spend on one position or spend on 2 positions, and then you draft 1, or vice versa.
I was talking to some friends earlier today. I went full Madden mode. I was like, okay, you sign Tyler Smith,
love that.
You sign Will Freeze, you sign Garrett Bowles,
spicy,
and you trade Braxton to Kansas City for Hunter Norzad. I don't think that's within the realm of possibility, but if I was playing Madden, that's what I would do.
It's spicy, and I like it. Because, I mean, realistically, out of all those guys, the only guy to me that makes, like, crazy money is Trey Smith.
Yeah. Scott, he's going back. He's going back to school.
Oh, the Iowa Center?
Yeah. Sucks.
Oh, that does suck, because I heard some things about that boy. He's a good football player. Hey, maybe he's the Bears' pick next year.
All right, on this one, we have Wright pulling. This was another wrinkle that I don't feel like I've seen a lot.
Darnell Wright pulled?
Yeah,
they pulled a tackle?
Darnell, I feel like we've seen some wide zone, but we haven't seen this.
No, God, no.
This year.
That's awesome. I love that. And you know what pisses me off? This is an awful block from Braxton.
Yeah.
This is an awful block from Braxton. I think the reason I would say here, if you're Brax, you got to come down flatter, knowing that Warner's going to fly downhill. Like, because otherwise he's going to undercut you. You have to know that. You have to know he's a superior athlete to you.
Yeah.
Because Brax thinks he's not going to come underneath him, and that's exactly what he does, is he comes underneath him. Otherwise, the play's there. I like that play. Darnell Wright gets a good block.
Yeah, he gets just enough of them. Like, I mean,
but that's all you need.
I want to see a little more stick from Wright on that, but like, I always have a hard time knocking guys too much on a pole because it's so hard to actually execute it going full speed. But like, I also have a hard time praising it too much. Like, so I just end up being like, he did it.
Q, I'll tell you what, I've had one pull in my football career. Actually, that's not true. 2 pulls in my football career that like were highlight reel blocks.
Yeah.
I had one where it was like the old school, like guard tackle counter, more or less, where I was the guard and my job was the last guy in the line of scrimmage. And this poor little corner decided to be the last man on the line of scrimmage. And I probably had 100 pounds on this kid and just flattened him. The other time was in college on a pull. It was like we called it a hammer nail pull, but it's just the guard pulls around the center. Very simple pull and up through the hole and flattened a linebacker.
Cool.
But that's about it. Very rarely do pulls work because they're hard. It's angles. Yeah. It's calculations. Like, that's why trap pulls to me are the easiest because they're fast. They're quick. There's less angle involved. These long pulls, and honestly, that's how it's coached.
Yeah.
Pull left, hit left.
You stick the guy.
Pull right, hit right. Well, and he hits with the right shoulder.
Yeah.
So
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You're taught whatever way you pull, that's the shoulder you hit with.
Yeah.
He does this beautifully. Like, it's a great play from Darnell.
And hey, you want to see a dead body?
I do want to see a dead body. Who's dying? Oh yeah. Tev gets him. Get him, Tev. Get him, Tev. Oh no.
Just pancaked him, man. Just
mashed.
Throws him over the pile.
Yep. Create a pile of shit. especially on the backside of a run play. I mean, I would make the argument here that like if Brax even gets enough of Warner, this play's going for 10 yards.
Hey, and just to be clear, that wasn't Tev. That was Coleman Shelton.
Oh, that was Coleman Shelton. You're right. Look at Coleman doing some shit. Yep, just in the pile. Boom.
I mean, it's a light dead body. Let's put it, but it's
a light dead body.
Yeah,
still dead body though.
You want to see another dead body?
I do. Is it Darnell Wright flattening somebody? Please tell me it is. If it is, this play will make my night. If it's Darnell Wright. Oh no, it's not.
Look at that hop. Yeah, it's Darnell Wright.
Oh, it is.
That hop
Yep.
step out
Beautiful.
there, explosive.
Beautiful.
I'm Leonard Floyd. Just
Give me your
chop
hand.
down.
Yep.
Get out of here.
That's perfect. Now sit on him. Oh, he's like, yeah, I'll just keep you down.
I think it was a known quick hitter, so it was just keep him.
I would have sat
his
on
head
him.
down. Yeah.
I would have laid on him. For how big Darnell Wright is too and how little Leonard Floyd is, lay on him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hell of a block from Darnell Wright. I mean, that's textbook. Like I would show that at like high schools. Like that's how good that is, technically.
So fun. Always
That's
love a good snatch trap.
Honestly, I mean, outside of Matt Pryor getting beat a little bit inside, that was actually a pretty good pass block, right? I know it was quick, but I'll take it.
I usually take the quick ones out of this just because I feel like there's like it's hard to praise guys too much on it, but like
Pryor gets beat. I mean, Brax had a good block on the other side. All the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like what Brax was doing there. Just kind of bending him outside. I mean, he had control of his back, which is beautiful. Boom. Get him. I mean, yeah. Tackles 10 out of 10, no notes. Pryor could have done better, but like you said, it's a quick hitter.
We got split zone on this one with Cole Kmet leading the way. Out of the pistol again, right? Yeah, pistol again.
Yeah, that's pistol.
So this is another unscouted look, which could be
that.
A heavily unpracticed look.
1,000% unpracticed.
Oh, that's really good. Let's see where they're going. Oh, this looks nice. If Kmet can hold that up. Oh yeah.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then it's just you ask Swift to make a play. That's really nice.
So this pistol stuff, this is what I think we're going to see more and more of from Thomas Brown.
We should. I mean, look at how beautiful this is done. Outside of maybe Pryor not getting all of his
imagine if Pryor gets a little more 6.
Yeah, this might go for God knows how many yards. But that's pretty.
You can beat 29 with a move. Like, it's nice.
And if you go back to, like, it's just pretty watching how they scoop this. So you see the double scoops here.
Yeah.
Get off, pass. Darnell Wright, Coleman Shelton, beautiful. Your other guys get to the next level. Really nice block from Tev. You would wish for more from Pryor, but Swift makes a play. Really nice block by Kmet on the biggest badass of the entire defense of Fred Warner. I would argue maybe you don't love seeing Brax give that much ground on that play.
Yeah.
If I'm being really picky, but like this is perfect.
I'm not knocking him for it, but like I had the same thought of like
he would get a fair grade from me. Like,
man,
you're not great, you're not bad, you're fine.
Swift had one spin move on him on this play, and he had to waste it on 6. Because
instead of 29. Yeah, he did. I mean, that's still a really good play, though. I will always forgive as an offensive line mind. I will always forgive guys having trouble getting to the second level versus not taking care of the first level. They took care of the first level beautifully. They did what you can ask.
That's another one where it was a good protection. I couldn't say a beautiful protection because it was good, but it was like that other one that we saw was like that was textbook.
That was textbook.
Good. This
is good. This is fine. This gets the job done. We're at 3 seconds.
Got to punish that jumper.
Yeah, you do. Punch
Coleman kind of tries, but I want to see him when they're in that position. I want to see him drop the hands and punch the gut. Like that's what I want to see. And I feel like we're not. We're starting to see him get a little bit more attempt at pushing jumpers, but like I want them to punish jumpers, not push jumpers.
Yeah, I want him to closed fist, like punch him in the gut.
You can get away with never doing it again. Yeah,
you can get away with it.
You can fist fight in the trenches. Another gun split zone look. Let's see how this one goes.
I think I've figured out why Cole Kmet's not being used as a pass blocker anymore because they are expecting this motherfucker to beat the shit out of people in the run game. Like Cole Kmet's brain might be scrambled by the end of the year. You know how you fix that? You get a fullback. You get Ben Sinnott. That's who you get.
Yeah. Oh, I would love Ben Sinnott in this.
Could you imagine Ben Sinnott in like tight end formations like this being the guy coming in motion to block? That's what they kind of need.
What do you think of Brax right here?
Honestly, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it. He gets in the way.
His really subtle hold.
Yeah, it was a very subtle hold. Definitely a hold, though. I mean, but he gets away with it.
He does the job.
It's fine. I would give him maybe a poor because I think he gives him a little too much ground from the start. But
I gave him a poor because like it's not sound process.
Yeah,
you know? Like that's what I'll weigh in on some of these. Like if you get the job done, but it's like I don't think it'll work again next time. That's poor process to me, and that'll work for.
Yeah, I would, because in that situation, especially with the guy coming inside, I would like him to be a little more controlled with his run steps, and that way he could just wash him rather than like having him run around him. I think if he washes him, I think Swift gets a bigger play here.
Yeah.
Again, being picky, but like I don't love, you said, I don't love the process. I agree.
Warner does a great job blowing this hole up.
Well, yeah, I mean that's just Fred Warner being Fred Warner.
I had never watched Fred Warner closely before this game, and man,
he's a motherfucker.
I knew he was awesome, but like that.
Now you appreciate how good he is. Yeah, he's a motherfucker, dude. He's a badass. So that's the type of dude. Zone. That's the type of dude the Bears need on defense. They need a Fred Warner.
Oh,
this is bad. Who trips who?
Right trips Pryor, I think.
No,
let's see why Wright goes down because he hits Pryor's knee.
Yeah, I don't hate. I mean, I don't know.
Just a broken play from guys running into each other, which
and I honestly don't even know
each other, but
I don't even know if Pryor is going to get that good of a block because we've seen Pryor struggle in space. And I don't know who 59 is, but he's a good. Oh, it's Greenlaw, isn't it?
No, it's Tavondre Campbell.
Oh, Campbell's a good football player.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's not what he used to be, if I'm remembering the same player, but like still a good football player for being a weak side backer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough block regardless. I mean,
the
fact that Swift gets as much out of it though is encouraging.
Right. This is a fun one.
Fuck.
Well, let's watch.
Anytime I see you say what the fuck, I'm scared.
What is this?
I don't know. Oh God, what is this? What the fuck? Okay, fair enough. Oh boy.
Like I could not figure out what they were trying to do here. It's just a broken play. They had conflicting ideas of what was happening. This play was the only thing I could come up with.
I'm betting you somebody called something wrong at the line of scrimmage.
Because like Pryor and Tev are just like going the opposite direction. I mean, obviously Tev has Warner there, but like the direction of their get off doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I agree. I really don't know what this is.
I mean, they're all taking his own step to start.
This just feels like a broken play, if I'm being brutally honest. Something was called wrong. Somebody went the wrong way. I mean, that's the simplicity of it. Whether it was Caleb called it the wrong way or vice versa, or the line ran it the wrong way. I don't know. That's just ugly. Like that's sometimes plays are so bad that unless you're in the room talking through what happened, like from guys in the like huddle, you're not going to figure out what this is.
Yeah. And to in the comments section, this is an offensive line show. If we're going to be spewing Caleb stats in there, we're going to put you in timeout. We're talking O-line in here. So we appreciate your guys' viewership, your feedback, but we're not here to be a billboard for Caleb Williams hate stats. So just be warned.
Be warned. This is O-line film review.
Inside zone on this one. Let's see what we got going here.
Looks good.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to see Kmet hold that block a little bit longer, but
I mean, the argument I would make here is that the play is technically supposed to go the other way. It's just Swift cuts it back.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Was this called a face mask, by the way?
I don't think so. Should
be. If you watch number 0, should be. I mean, that's blocked up really well. I don't love that Swift just abandons it, but I mean, that's not horrendous blocking by any means. I mean, it takes a while to develop, but that's why I said, like, I think the Bears lack a patient runner. That's the type of guy that they need. And I know not every running back can do that, but like, you need a guy that at least gives zone a half a second longer to develop because the hole's there on the front side. Swift sees color in grass, and that's why he cuts it backside, which I respect. Go with your instinct, go with your gut. Like, you're an NFL running back for a reason, but
yeah. Sorry.
That's not the worst play I've ever seen.
I was paying attention to whether someone needed to be put in timeout or not.
Because, like, if you watch it backside open up, like, Shelton gets off, maybe something's there. You know what I mean? It's tough to say.
Yeah, if that
like, I will say I see what Swift sees here is just the wall kind of washed down, and he thinks he can get backside and make a play.
But just numbers.
Right, exactly. And again, this is where I can make the argument that maybe this is the type of call that, like, Caleb needs to switch. And maybe you flip Swift to the other side. You know, yeah, you don't have you have less numbers on the other side, but then he doesn't have to make a play on 3 guys.
Yeah.
And again,
that's probably more Swift than anything. I don't even think I gave. Let me look at this one more time. On the O-line aspect, I think guys got positive grades on this one.
I would give just about
like
everybody.
I think Tev got a fine.
I was going to say, everybody gets at least a fine on that play. It might not be great, but it's fine. Like, you did what you were asked to do on the play. It's just hard when your running back completely abandons what the play is. Played with a guy like that in high school. You'd run outside zone, and he would never try to cut the ball back. He would just try to get to the outside. And it was like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, that's just a Swift issue right there. All right, now we have Braxton pulling on the lead block here.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, pull right, hit right.
Nice pop on Fred Warner right there. But where did that tackle come? Where did the tackle come from? 69.
Tev.
Yeah.
Tev and Pryor.
They were running a stun on that. So,
run stunts are a bitch, man.
Yeah.
Run stunts are a bitch because this is exactly what happens. A lot of times you get a guy that just frees up that shouldn't free up. Not that I think Swift would have gotten that many more yards, but maybe he gets 4 or 5 more yards on the play.
Yeah.
But I like watching Braxton pull. I don't love his, like, negative step. I feel like he doesn't really gain speed with his step, but
yeah.
Pull right,
I feel like he doesn't turn like that. You know, it's like he's too high center of gravity.
Yes. I mean, I don't hate the rep. I really don't.
No. I think
what Brax does there is nice.
We got another one with good protection right here all around. Felt like this was a nice rep from everybody.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
I mean, not a lot to really even break down there. It's just showing some love to guys did their jobs.
It's just good pass rush or good pass block. Yeah. Things you love to see. And Bro makes a sick catch on the other end.
And then this one, another one. Need to remember the rep from earlier because Shelton gets beat like a drum right here.
Oh, boy. Yeah, 99 kind of beat his ass all day, unfortunately. Yeah. I think that was just the key. I mean, when you got these really big nose tackles like that, like, that's where Shelton struggles.
Who have a powerful, like, explosive step. Because, like, a lot of big guys don't have that explosive step. He, right here, when he lowers his shoulder just he's able to get that lateral movement to find the outside shoulder opposite of where Shelton's planted. Like, that's nice from 99. Shelton,
yeah, I'm trying to.
We need a little better than that.
Trying to get a I don't want, like, the franchise. Give me the fucking players. Oh, this is the whole page. That's why. Hang on a second.
Looking up their roster, see who 99 is.
Yeah, I'm trying to give the guy some credit because he's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
San Francisco 49ers roster. I don't like doing this on this page because this shit sucks. But I can go by number at least. Where's 99? Where'd you go, bud? There he is. Malik Collins.
Oh, of course it's Malik Collins. I love Malik. If
He's
you go back,
9-year pro out of Nebraska. Yeah, he's a motherfucker. He's a good ball player.
If you go back to any game the last 2 years against the Texans, like in my game previews, I highlight Malik Collins heavily. That dude is a baller. Like he's so underrated.
You're seeing it here.
Just another good protection all around. Everyone does a nice job.
Look at Coleman Shelton teeing off and then gets the looper on the backside.
Yeah. I mean, so the reason I still say this is good, we're at 4. Like, that's not even a stunt. That's just a guy going freestyle because the ball's been held for 4.5 seconds. Like,
and Shelton still gets to him. I mean, that's some good shit, dude.
Yeah.
And then, like, Caleb does a fine job moving around here. Boop, boop. Shimmy. I mean, if Shelton's a little longer, you would make the argument. But
yeah,
greased up guy.
Still
out there making plays.
I mean, I don't know what he had downfield. But yeah, that ball needs to be out for one reason or another, whether that's routes, whether that's receivers, whether that's Caleb, it needs to go out.
Yeah, still good pro, though.
And this one, we're watching Shelton and Tev for some reason. I don't remember if this is good or bad, but I guarantee you we will find out. Let's see. Good. We're watching them for good reasons.
Hell yeah. Love that. Good pro all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, even on the right side, I know it's not perfect by any means, but like they get the job done.
Hey, and Scott makes a great point. This is a soft rush on defense. Bears are down by a ton of points. Take it with a grain of salt. I think that's fair.
Still got to appreciate. I mean, these guys are all pros and they're still playing for contracts. Like, I don't care if they're down. I'm going after the quarterback to try to kill them. Like,
well, and I mean, actually, at this point in the game, there was it wasn't over. This was still third quarter, I believe. The first Rome, I guess this is the second Rome touchdown. So this one, it was probably done by now.
Yeah, but again, I mean, if I'm trying to pad my stats when I get the contract negotiations, I'm going for the guy.
That's true. That's a good point.
Like, soft rush my ass. I'm trying to get to the quarterback. And then that sack's $700,000 difference in contract negotiations.
And Scott, if we're gonna knock him for these last 2 sacks, we gotta give him credit for the good stuff, because these last 2,
that bad, huh?
They're rough.
Probably. I thought nobody was coming though. I mean, that's still not bad pro though.
So this one, I'm thinking the next one. This one really isn't that bad.
Like I've seen far worse. It's just nothing's open.
No, this one it wasn't as fresh in my memory as I'd like to say it was, but this one, it's more on Caleb or the route concepts or the receivers, because
I think it's the route concepts, because I can see
like Rome's he's got draped. A clean pocket.
Cole was draped.
Yeah,
you have it looks like DJ coming out in that window, but then the safety flows into the window where DJ Moore is.
Yeah, I mean they're generally fine here. I don't know if I actually knocked anyone on this play.
No, I think that's fine.
This next one,
this is bad. I can already feel
gets beat by a drum. Beat like a drum.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He just gets walked.
Yeah. Like the time is still okay, but like it's not always about the time. It's about the process too. His process gets beat like crazy.
He just gets
the reason there's time is just because he takes a deep set, right? And then that deep set ends up being the reason why he just walked right into it.
Yeah, well, and nothing's open. I mean, you can see the 2 receivers that are right in front of Caleb's face. Neither one of them are open. Everybody's covered.
But with that being said, I want to run through a little bit of the
special treat,
a little free agent preview here for
special treat.
Will Freeze, and we're not going to break it down like inch by inch like we do the Bears O-line tape. I'm just going to run it through and we're going to talk about it as it goes.
Oh, look at that anchor.
God, that was the first play I turned on. I was like, I am instantly excited when I saw that.
That's anchor. I mean, that's proper anchor.
Second one, I mean, we see him get tossed a little. He does his job, but like Cam Hayward chucks him. So it's not all great, but I think this might be the best. I think that was Ogunjobi.
This
This arrow's in the wrong place. That's Braden Smith. This is Will
Mm.
Freeze. Or this is Will Freeze right here.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
keep it rolling.
Ogunjobi's a dude. I mean, he's still a good ball player.
Yeah.
That's a good block. I like that.
Yeah.
Getting to
I
the
mean,
end
so
zone.
these are all
the.
I graded this game like I grade the Bears. This is all the positive and negative plays I saw.
Okay.
I just took out the fines. That was a nice little. The thing that stuck out to me on this was the punch, the secondary punch here.
Yeah,
He's
you
got
can
some
see it.
nasty
Bang.
to him, man.
Bang.
He ain't backing down from anyone. I mean,
That's good though. That's what you need at a guard.
yeah. He's got a real
That's good.
anchor right there.
He does. I think that's the biggest difference. I think that's the thing the Bears severely lack at their guard position is guys that just have proper anchors.
Yeah.
That's good run play.
I'll see that one again.
Gets across the space, runs with him.
We'll get across and run him up. Like, I mean, it's not perfect, but like you run him, and he did a great job of running him better than we've probably seen some of the Bears guys do all year. Like as far as getting in good position to do it.
I mean, that's just good technique because you're taught if you can't hook him, run him, and that's exactly what he does. That's perfect.
Yeah. That one was
not the greatest pull.
Wrong shoulder, right? That's what you're
100%.
looking at there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And I get it. The guy comes inside on you, so sometimes you just have to adjust. But
yeah.
Oh, that's hot.
I know. It just keeps getting better as it goes too. Like I was really impressed by the tape that I watched from him.
That's good pass pro right there.
And this was one of like by PFF. This was he's like
that's a good
second
exchange.
Worst game. He only played like 5 games this year because he broke his tibia, I believe it was. But there's something to like here with Will Freeze, and I think the Bears need to be all over this guy in free agency. I don't know the details of the medical stuff with the broken tibia. He needed surgery. Apparently it was pretty extensive, but based on his tape, I'm questioning whether Trey Smith is going to get to free agency. I hope.
Yeah, I don't think he will though.
Yeah, and I'll probably try to get some Trey Smith out here for next week, just to give us an idea of what we're looking at there too. But
Deal.
I think Will Freeze is probably your best bet. Ooh, Ron, you gotta look at this one.
Yeah, that's pretty. I think the thing too with Freeze, like I'm looking. So sorry, I'm not trying to be ignorant. I'm looking at his contract. I'm looking at his contract. That's what I'm looking at here. He only makes $891K this year.
6th round pick.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that you probably could throw Ryan Bates money at and get him $4 million a year for maybe 2 years or something like that.
I don't know. I think his tape is going to speak pretty loudly.
Maybe.
But the injury aspect might drive his price down.
Definitely. And he's still young. I mean, I know we're talking Trey Smith here being only 25 right now, but like Will Freeze is only 26. He'll be 27 next year. I mean, that's a guy that I would happily give a 3 or 4 year deal to. Probably more so 3, just to be safe, and probably would make it where, back end is more kind of, it's cuttable in that 3rd year. But yeah. I mean, this is a guy that if I'm Ryan Poles, I'm salivating at because he's something that this Bears offensive line does not have. He has a good anchor. He's got some nasty to him. He's not the nastiest guy, but he's got nasty to him.
Yeah. He's not afraid to get nasty.
He just gets down and dirty, man. And that's all you need in a lineman. You just need a guy and he's technically sound. He right now on the Bears would be the most technically sound player on the Chicago.
Yeah. What I said to because someone asked me about him today, and that's what spurred my interest. And I was like, I watched the tape and was like, he's better than anything we've had from Teven all year.
Yeah, 100%.
And I like Teven, but like Teven hasn't been the same guy this year.
He's just technically sound. Like,
yeah,
you don't know how many times I want to rip my hair out when we watch some of these linemen because they're just not technically sound. Like, he's got good technique.
This was his worst rep of the day right here.
Yeah. And this still isn't even that bad.
You're talking about their center is rookie Tanner Bortolini.
And he's getting
I think this is worse on him. I think Freeze is trying to make up for Bortolini's mistake right there.
Agreed. And I mean, Quentin Nelson gets walked by Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
So like It just goes to show even your big money guards like Quentin Nelson are still going to get walked at times. Not everybody's perfect.
Yeah. But
I mean, I think just quick synopsis at the end here. To me, Will Freeze is just a classic. He's not going to blow anybody away. He's not going to make the highlight block. But son of a bitch, if you like good technique, you're going to be salivating at his tape. And I think this is exactly what we just saw.
Yeah, it's I'm excited about the idea of the Bears going and signing this guy. Obviously, the medicals are going to matter, but there's a lot to like on this tape, and this was against a tough Steelers D line. Like, that's the reason I watched this game. I was like, it's against the Steelers. It's not his best PFF grade of the year. Like, when I watch guys, I usually try to find their middle PFF grades and good defensive lines they're going against. That's what this was. And
yeah,
I graded him a lot better for this game than PFF did.
Remember when Larry Ogunjobi was supposed to be a Chicago Bear?
Yeah. Dude, he's an interesting player, man, because I don't think he's ever going to be the guy on your D line. Like, he was signed to be the Bears' big three technique, but like as a rotational backup, he's a monster. Like, I love him in that role.
I think he's really good as like a 5 technique, which is what the Steelers have him playing. I think he could have been a good 3. He showed enough, but I think ever since he had the injury, which obviously was the reason the Bears didn't ultimately sign him, was because of the injury. I think he hasn't been the same dude. He is the same guy, but just in limited reps.
Yeah. But that's all we got for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the Bears breakdown. Hope you enjoyed the Will Freeze tape. Hope the Bears sign a Will Freeze. But until next time, Ron, what do you say we get out of here the only way we know how?
Bear down, baby.
Bear down.